Tonight, we'll take a look at a local Ogden resident who found themselves on The Voice, the electoral race between Evan McMullen and Mike Lee, and a variety of Halloween activities in the Ogden area. I'm Kyle Housley.
And I'm Matt Harris.
And this is Wildcat News.
A Layton man was arrested on Friday the 14th after threatening to bomb a school in Washington. 28-year-old Cesar Oveda was detained by police after he made the following threat on Instagram. Quote, "I'm gonna bomb attack St. Joseph's Catholic School in Kennewick, Washington." End quote. Police investigated the IP address where the post came from and tracked it to Oveda's home.
A bear mauled two college wrestlers in Montana on October 15th. The Northwest College wrestlers sustained injuries from the attack but managed to escape and get help from two other members of their team. They were released from the hospital last week with minor injuries.
59-year-old Patrick Allen Green was arrested on allegations of sexual abuse of two female students at Garland Elementary School. Box Elder School District officials fired Green after suspicion of 4 counts of first-degree felony charges, previous to his leave early September as a third-grade teacher.
Evan McMullen and Mike Lee duked it out in a debate last week hosted by the Utah Debate Commission. McMullen's biggest argument during the debate was that Lee sent text messages to the White House Chief of Staff to try to overturn the 2020 election. Lee, however, pushed that he did not vote in line with all of Trump's policies. Current polls have Lee ahead of McMullen by only 4%. This is a race to keep your eyes on, as it is likely to be close.
Ukraine's president has accused Putin of plotting to destroy a critical dam on the Dnipro River. If the dam were destroyed, it would flood the region and stop water from being supplied to the Crimean Peninsula. Russia currently denies these claims despite having recently evacuated the area.
Investigators are looking into what caused an F-35 Lightning to crash just north of the runway last Wednesday at Hill Air Force Base. The pilot ejected safely and was treated. He was released from the hospital with minor injuries.
We are glad to hear that he is safe. And now, the Young Democratic Socialists of America movement here at Weber State is working to try and cancel student late fees. Here's Alexandria Bonilla with the story.
Students here at Weber State University strive to make a difference every day, whether that's organizing community service projects or peer mentoring each other. However, this group of students is looking to make a difference in a new way.
Weber State University's Young Democratic Socialists of America chapter have been campaigning for over a year to eliminate student late fees. With over 250 signatures on their petition, students have given stories of their own personal experiences, stating that it feels like the school is setting them up to fail, and that late fees punish those who already don't have the money.
We're running it as a pressure campaign, so we believe, if the majority of students really want late fees to be canceled, they should be the ultimate decision-making body.
The late fees in question are currently a $40 non-refundable late fee that gets added to tuition totals if the balance is not paid in full the week prior to the semester or if a payment plan is not set up. The payment plan additionally costs a $35 to set up. If the late fee is not paid within 30 days, a 12% interest fee is added on top of the late fee.
There's a bunch of financial penalties for missing. But in addition to that, they also put a hold on adding or dropping classes, on transcripts, graduation, and stuff like that as well. What we're saying is you could keep the hold, for like adding and dropping, graduation, whatnot. That's enough incentive already for students to pay their tuition. So adding all these financial things in addition to that is just like way too much, just pouring salt on the wound.
The YDSA has met with student president Ashley Potiker and the associate provost for enrollment and student success to discuss why Weber State needs to cancel their late fees.
Just recently, we've talked to the Student Senate about passing a resolution, which they're supposed to be writing right now, in support of canceling late fees as well.
The YDSA has also recently teamed up with Weber's chapter of the NAACP.
Regardless of how much funding you get or wherever the funds go, you shouldn't have to depend on, exploiting students who, first time with the university or living paycheck to paycheck. You shouldn't depend on wringing more money out of them than what was initially planned on.
If you're interested in signing the petition, you can use the QR code on the screen or visit them on Instagram at YDSA_@_WSU. This has been Alexandria Bonilla, Wildcat News.
Thank you for that news story, Alexandria. The Utah Jazz's official hashtag #TakeNote was briefly stolen by Apple recently. Apple CEO Tim Cook used the hashtag in a promoted tweet with the Apple logo on the end, quickly catching the attention of Jazz owner Ryan Smith and the team's official account. The hashtag was restored back to the original black Jazz logo by the end of the day.
And now let's turn over to Wildcat sports. Here's Jace Campbell in the studio with the update. Tell us about the Wildcats, Jace.
Yeah, thanks, Matt and Kyle. It's a great time to be a Wildcat sports fan, so let's not delay this any longer and let's get right into all the action. A top 5 FCS football matchup happened this weekend in Bozeman between our number 5 Weber State Wildcats and the number 2 ranked Montana State Bobcats. Weber State entered with a perfect 6-0 record, but the Bobcats looked to extend their home winning streak to a nation's best 17 straight games. Weber State started off strong by intercepting quarterback Tommy Malott on the third play from scrimmage, leading to a field goal and a quick 3-0 lead for the Wildcats. They then would use a 100-yard kickoff return by Abraham Williams and a 91-yard punt return by Hudson Skank to take a commanding 24-9 lead. Montana State took no time and came charging back in the second quarter as they took a 43-21 lead and scored 34 straight points. Weber State clawed their way back into the game in the final seconds with an opportunity to take the lead with just under 1 minute left, but their last-ditch effort would fall short after a 4th and 10 pass from Barron to McPherson fell incomplete. The Bobcats defeated Weber State 43-38 behind Tommy Malott's career day with 273 rushing yards. The Wildcats are back at home this week in another huge Big Sky matchup versus Montana. The Cardiac Cats look to get back on track after falling at home to Portland State, and boy did they do that. Weber State traveled to Missoula to face the Grizzlies and took care of business by sweeping them 3-0. They then headed to the other Montana foe and defeated the Montana State Bobcats 3-1. Bailey Bodley hit a season-high 59% with 10 kills to go along with 4 blocks, 4 assists, and 2 service aces to help power the Wildcats to victory. Both Richens had 10 kills and 10 digs, and Standiford had 35 assists and 12 digs to be members of the Double-Double Club up in Bozeman. They take on Idaho State this weekend on Weber State's campus in the Swenson Gym. The soccer team finished the season 4-4 in Big Sky play after finishing the season with 2 huge wins. They defeated Northern Colorado 1-0 last week. The lone goal came from Allie Swenson with just under 5 minutes left in the match. They also beat Montana by a score of 2-0 on Sunday to secure the 5th seed in the Big Sky Soccer Tournament. Both Lexi Simpson and Morgan Firmanak scored in the win over Montana. They will play the 4th seed Sacramento State on Wednesday, November 2nd in Greenlee, Colorado. Onto the pitch for some golf. The men's golf team finished the fall season with a 2nd place finish in the Herb Wembley Intercollegiate match last Tuesday. The Cats moved up 3 spots in the final round and shot a 5 under par as a team to finish at 279. 4 of the 5 Wildcat golfers shot under par, led by Hayden Bands, who shot 2 under. Back to football and in the NFL, former Wildcat wide receiver and All-American kickoff returner Rashid Shaheed made his NFL debut after recovering from an ACL surgery he suffered. Shaheed made a name for himself right off the rip as he took his first ever touch to the house with a 44-yard rushing touchdown. He then added a 53-yard touchdown catch last Thursday night in primetime against the Cardinals. He is the first player in Saints history to take his first 2 touches for touchdowns.
Thank you for that, Jace, and it is a really exciting time to be a Wildcat indeed. An Iranian climber was recalled by her country last week after participating in a competition without her headscarf. Elnaz Rakabi claimed that she unintentionally forgot it prior to the competition. This comes amid ongoing protests in Iran after a woman was killed by morality police for wearing her hijab too loosely.
All right. Now we've got some local news here. An Ogden native, Adam Partridge, set fire to his own house only to shoot it up and attack authorities shortly thereafter. The 43-year-old pled guilty this past week, and judge suspended prison terms and sentenced Partridge to 3 years of probation.
Let's talk about a whole different kind of Ogden resident who recently found herself on NBC's The Voice. Our own Windsor Moore took a quick look into Sydney Cronmiller's time there on the show.
Hey everyone, I was able to snag an interview with Sydney Cronmiller, a 25-year-old from Ogden. She was featured on NBC's 22nd season of The Voice. Let's check it out.
So right now I'm out at Berklee College of Music. It's out in Boston. I'm studying music writing and production there. My experience on The Voice was awesome. I mean, life-changing, obviously, to meet people, that you only ever see on like your Spotify Wrapped or whatever. um, but a favorite part of mine overall would have had to be meeting Charlie Puth. To have him like sitting there listening to me, making comments on my voice was just like, honestly, I went back to my hotel room and just had to like stare at the wall because I just didn't know how to process. It was cool. That was really cool. So my plans now that my time on The Voice is up would be, honestly, I think the next thing for me is just gonna be to put music out and put myself out there that way. I don't have anything out yet that, people can go listen to. So I think that's definitely the next step, and something that I'm looking into. So be on the watch for that.
Kronmiller emphasized in our interview that she hopes that all can follow their dreams because you never know what's around the corner. I'm Windsor Moore, Weber State reporter. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you very much, Windsor. It's good to see some local talent getting on the national stage. Weber State is looking kind of strange this season. The Wildcats plan to get their 80s on at the Weber State Stranger Things party this month. Join your fellow Wildcats for a night to remember with a dance party, costume contest, and themed treats. The event will take place October 26th from 7 to 9 p.m. in the Shepherd Union Ballrooms.
Outside of Ogden, there are even more Halloween events taking place. Let's get back out to Alexandria Bonilla, taking a look at Utah's beloved Black Island Farms Halloween event.
If you're looking for fall family fun, look no further. I'm here at Black Island Farms, where they offer everything from corn mazes to live performances to petting zoos and pumpkin patches.
Owned and operated by the Black and Law family for over 60 years, Black Island Farms offers fun for the whole family.
We do this just because we enjoy the craziness and the fun of creating this big event that we do, and it's a lot of fun, and we bring a lot of joy to people, and it's fun to see people be able to get out and kind of explore, and it's a big field, and so like people get to run around and kind of have fun and be kids again, and it's just a fun, special kind of place. So
They have a giant slide, mountain of hay, corn box, cow train, goat races, and more. Saturdays are the belle of the ball, where they host live music performances, food trucks, and a magic show.
the courtyard is by far the best. We got a bunch of slides and a corn box and like things to climb on, which is just, kids can't climb on stuff as much anymore. Like, be kids and wild and explore. And we got straw mountains and a balance challenge, and it's just a fun place to kind of have some fun.
They also offered Nightmare Acres, a haunted attraction for those who are a little more interested in the spooky side of Halloween.
Our haunted attraction, Nightmare Acres, that's open on the weekends, is so much fun. We're not the scariest haunted house, but we are the funnest, I guarantee it. Because you get lost, we got a zombie laser tag, and it is a whole kind of different twist on a haunted house.
For ticket information and hours of operation, check out blackislandfarms.com. This has been Alexandria Bonilla, Wildcat News.
All right, that sounded like a lot of fun, Alexandria. Thank you for that story. Now, you might want to call Samuel L. Jackson for this next one. A snake was found on a United flight in business class headed from Tampa to Newark, New Jersey. Just last Monday, passengers witnessed a garden snake slithering around underfoot. Thankfully, no one was hurt.
Well, the thing about business class is, it's all snakes up there.
Hey!
Well, that's not the only spooky thing happening this season. Weber State people are saying double, toil and trouble. The Witchstock Festival came to town this past weekend on Ogden's historic 25th Street. Witchstock is an annual festival in October featuring the Witch's Tea, Zombie Crawl, and new this year, Peculiar Pours Beer Festival.
So I really like how close-knit the community is in Ogden, and especially at Witchstock, seeing all the local businesses there. It's really fun.
The event highlights community partners, businesses, artists, music, and more while showcasing what Ogden offers citywide. In a recent interview, Haley Van Patten, spokesperson for the Ogden Downtown Alliance, said everyone was thrilled to have this community event back downtown. The Alliance almost immediately had community members and vendors asking for more information upon the event's announced return.
Wow, that sounded like a lot of fun. What plans do you have for Halloween this year, Matt?
I gotta tell you, being married to the Queen of Halloween, I'm gonna do whatever she asks.
That's fair. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm Kyle Housley,
And I'm Matt Harris.
and this has been Wildcat News. Happy Halloween, everyone.
Happy Halloween.